taken psychology or read an article or something like that, and they do these little things to see how people, how much pain they feel, like emotional pain, I guess, versus say spending $100 of cash that they've earned, or spending $100 on their credit card. And what they find is that it's much easier for people to spend credit than it is for them to spend cash. They feel much more pain letting go of the $100 than they do with credit. And it's very similar with mortgages. Add to it that when people go to the mortgage broker and they qualify for $600,000 or whatever, they feel like they've earned that $600,000. I mean, after all, they wouldn't allow you to take out $600,000 if you didn't deserve it or earn it, right? Well, you know. So when it comes to buying a home, and they find a home that they love, but it's above their original price, well then they're willing to spend that extra bit. They're willing to go to the maximum in order to get it, because they feel they already earned it. All right, here's the big slide. Prime Minister Harper was here holding the kitty, blocking this part on purpose. Okay, so first, remember I talked briefly about the whole dips that have been happening over the last, 30 years. Every single time, for the most part, interest rates have dropped. Now, I just want you guys to remember this key point when I talk about like the rest of the slide. It's these few years, like 97, 98, 99, 2000. You see how the prices of these homes have all dropped off their highs? Well, for the first thing, of course, is because interest rates went up, so it's more expensive, But what does this suggest? And I guess it means, I don't want to give it away right now, but there's something there that I'll talk about briefly, but just think about this. Houses are worth less. Okay, so let's go to 2000. What happened in 2000 that shook the financial world? Anybody? I'm saying anybody. Tell me. Shout it out.
Subprime.
Pardon?
Subprime. Zero down mortgage.
No, the year 2000 was the tech bubble.
.com.
Right?
.com.
People lost a lot of money in the NASDAQ. It shot from super high to way down low. Okay? It didn't have too much of an effect on real estate because you see 2000 is bloop, 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 bloop. Nothing. What happened in 2001? Oh, sorry, I should say, in 2000, the tech bubble obviously made people a little more worried about buying stocks in the future. Because if they can see that drastic drop, they're going to be more conservative in terms of how much they're willing to invest and blah, blah. 2001, what happened in North America? I'll give you a hint, it happened in September.
Somebody bumped his own city.
September 11th happened, yes. And that caused, well, I mean, I hope you guys remember. Everybody, well, maybe not everybody, a lot of people were,
Iraq war, high oil prices.
pardon?
Iraq war, high oil prices.
Yeah, it had a huge influence on the markets, had a huge influence on how people thought about the next few years, the next few months, the next few days. They were worried, So, 2001 which is pretty much the start of this climb. Two big things happened other than 9/11. Interest rates went down, and income tax went down. Now, you might think, oh, interest rates went down a bit, no big deal, right? Well, I actually talked to a mortgage broker a few months ago. I just asked them a bunch of questions, say, hey, what is like the equivalent of a 1% change in your mortgage rate? And she said, well, we have a rule of thumb for 1%, for a percentage change. Basically, what she said to me is 1% change is 11% change in how much you have to pay. Okay? So if it goes down 1%, you're paying 11% less. Or you can afford 11% more kind of thing. It's not exact, of course. Changing from 2 to 3% is different than changing from 8 to 9%. But that's the rule of thumb that she said to me. So obviously she's saying to other people as well. And in 2001, when income taxes went down as well, It was a pretty big change. I mean, I actually looked it up. It's like 2% here, 2% there, a few percent here. It all adds up to people having more money. And one of the things about 1% change in interest is it's not like suddenly that the properties became cheaper. It's your ability to pay the monthly mortgage is easier, you know? So immediately demand shot up, and why wouldn't it? People had more money to spend, and it cost less to buy, basically. You know, the prices were the same. The monthly payment was a lot less. There was something else I meant to say. It'll come to me. Okay, so that was 2001. Okay, I remembered. Remember what I was saying about right here? 98, 99, 2000? Value of properties have dipped from their highs. Means demand is basically not as great, or people's ability to buy houses is less. Which means there's less incentive for construction workers to build. So, during this period, people weren't building as much. Okay? They just weren't, you know? There wasn't so much demand that warranted, I mean, people still built, of course, you know? But it's the difference between building a property and having it sell quickly, or building it properly and hopefully selling it. It was much riskier during this sort of a period to build than when it's going up, obviously. So in 2001, when people had lower interest rates and lower taxes, demand went up. And the news, I guess, in newspapers and on TV and stuff, they came up with some stories about the fact that there wasn't enough homes. And it was true. Obviously, there's lots of land, but there wasn't enough properties for people to buy because because people had built so much less during that previous 3-4 years. So what did that do to the whole, like the How I Met Your Mother video, to the average buyer, which is maybe not that extreme, but it's not that far off, I don't think. All of a sudden, people got a real sense of urgency. They're like, well, now I'm in a position with more money. I'm in a position where I can buy more home because interest rates are down, but there's not that much to buy. So now that just kicked people into gear to buy a lot harder. Okay. 2003 it's a pretty significant year because you remember the CMHC? They insure risky mortgages basically. They insure almost any mortgage that's less than 20% of a down payment, basically. If it's above, they don't. Well, in 2003, the government gave them the authority to insure almost any value of a home. For the previous 50 or 60 years, or however long they've been in existence, they had a cap, and that cap had been lifted. So, of course, prices went up because interest rates were still low. Values of homes were going up. Demand was high. The number of properties that were being built was starting to go up. But just think about it. This is supply and demand. It's like, okay, if I want to make, a book, it's pretty easy. If the demand is high, it's pretty easy for me to just pump out 1,000 books and be like, yeah, okay, you're going to buy these, right? Demand's there. I can meet that demand quickly. Well, how long does it take for people to build a home? It doesn't take a day or a week. It can take like 6 to 24 months or something like that. So demand is high here. Construction workers want to meet that demand, but they can't meet it tomorrow. It's going to take a while. And it did, obviously. So that was 2003. Now, not only were people able to buy more homes, property values were going up, but now banks and mortgage brokers didn't have to be quite as conservative with what kind of mortgages they gave out. Because now they can basically say to someone, well, we're a little worried about that mortgage, but if you CMHC it, it's okay. Because what CMHC insurance does is it insures the mortgage broker, it insures the bank. It doesn't insure the buyer, okay?